I am just out walking, and it's a perfect example of inner authority, and I wanted to talk about it. I've wanted to take this other path that's across the road for so long, for a year, and I couldn't figure out how to get into it. And today it's our first snowfall, so you can't actually see anything. You can't see a trail, and for some reason today I just veered off, pushed the stroller over some rocks, and started walking this path. And the whole time I'm I don't know. It's veering off in different directions. I have to literally push the stroller up onto rocks and over to get it on the other side. But I just keep going. And if I was stuck in my logical brain, I'd turn back and be oh, this trail's not meant for a stroller. And I ran into that 3 times. And there's so many different ways you can go on this trail. And I instantly knew which way to go. I just knew. And now we're back on the road. I'm almost back at my truck. And I just wanted to hop on here to share this because it's a perfect example of what your life starts to look like when you are in your purpose, when you are leading your life. And it shows up in these crazy moments, and those are the moments where you have to listen the most, is the moments where it's this doesn't make any logical sense. Yeah, that's Dad over there. He's working. This doesn't make any logical sense. I should definitely rethink my route or rethink my direction, but then you just keep going anyways. And this applies to anything in life. When you get that sense of knowing and it feels there's no anxiety, there's obviously the thought of oh, maybe I should go a different way or maybe I should turn back, but there's no anxiety there. The feeling is no, I just want to keep going. Listen to it. In any area of your life, relationships, you don't need to know the how. Once you have tapped into this inner authority, you move from that place because there's an emotion connected to it. You just know. It's this isn't woo-woo. It's so hard to put into words because it's something you feel in your body. It's something you experience. And I would love to know if this is something you've already experienced in your life, but you don't know how it's going to work out. And there's a part of you that's this doesn't even make sense, right? And this could be an investment in a business where you're I know that I'm just meant to be in this space. Logically, I'm I don't really have the finances. This investment doesn't make sense for where my business is at right now. But there's a part of me that just knows I'm supposed to be in this space. And I just did that recently, actually, $5,000 in debt over here. And I'm yeah, let's put $10,000 over here. Logically, that does not make sense. And your brain's probably oh, that's really stupid, but it's working out. It's not stupid. And that's literally the inner authority. Yeah, Dada's over there working, honey. We're so blessed. My husband works on this road that we walk on. He works just right next to it. So we get excited to see Dada. But yeah, you just know. And every part of it, of course there's doubt. Like I said, on my walk this morning, I was oh, maybe this isn't meant for strollers, and those thoughts kicked in, and of course you're gonna have doubt, and I did after my big investment too, and I was oh, what did I do, right? But there's still this part of you, this sense of knowing, and the only way to tap into that sense of knowing is to trust that you are rooted in your identity and your purpose. And okay, that doesn't probably make a lot of sense right now. The only way to tap into that sense of knowing, that inner authority, is to rewire your brain to become rooted in who you were meant to be. And how you do that is actually really simple. It's actually really simple. In order to understand how to tap into your inner authority, you need to understand why you haven't tapped into it yet. And this is not a hard thing to do. But our brain moves away from pain faster than it moves towards pleasure. So a lot of time we just operate from this place of fear, right? Your brain has one job. It's to keep you alive. That is your brain's only a job, and it wants to conserve energy doing that. That's why you stay in the same patterns, same routines. You kind of stay on that autopilot loop. And so a lot of the decisions we make, we operate from a place of fear. You touch the hot stove, you move your hand away, right? We're avoiding having pain. So even when you want to move towards a goal in your life, even if you're oh, I really want to do that, I want to grow my business, I want to make my first $500 online, I want to make my first $5,000 online, there's an underlying pain that you're linking that task to. And it's called a neuro response loop. And I've got a whole nother video on neuro response loops and how to rewire them. But that's at play here too. So if you think about the decisions that you're making, am I making this from a place of fear, or the indecision that you're making? Am I making it from a place of fear or intuition? When you can ask yourself that, a lot of times in this situation, it's going to be from indecision, right? Like you're not actually doing the thing that you're doing because you're scared it's not going to work. So inner authority, that sense of knowing how to tap into that, is to override that fear. And one of the fastest ways to do that, to tap into your inner authority, is to change your state, your physiological state. Now, I do this demonstration for my students all the time and in other YouTube videos I've done, but like if you try to like be sad, I'm not gonna do this because I'm driving, so it's unsafe, but like you're like looking down, you're sad or whatever, and like try to get in that sad state. And then like just make yourself really big, like get your arms big, do some power stances, maybe some squats, maybe like punch your arms a whole bunch. Like it's really hard to be in that sad state when you're like changing the state of your body, because your body tells your brain how you're feeling, right? Like we can override our brain with what we do with our body. That's why you can go to the gym and feel like garbage, and then at the end of your workout you're like, oh my god, I feel so good, because you're getting that dopamine hit, you're getting that neurochemical reaction that you're looking for to feel better. So that's just one way to tap into your inner authority. The other way that I find really helpful, that I'm just going to kind of like solidify this and wrap this up with, is asking yourself better questions. And the one question to ask yourself when faced with action or decision to tap into your inner authority, that intuition, that sense of knowing, so that you feel that more and more in your life, like you just kind of trust what's going to happen. The other way to tap into that is by asking yourself, what would I choose to do if I thought that everything was going to work out? And I do this in every area of my life. When I'm hesitating in my business, when I'm hesitating making a decision, like I literally just like sit with myself and I'll close my eyes and I will just be like, what would I choose to do right now if I thought that this investment in my business was going to help me reach my $20,000 a month goal? Like, what would I choose? And that highlights everything, because if what you would choose is the investment, that is your inner authority speaking. That is you speaking from a place of intuition instead of fear, because fear feels like, oh, you know, fear feels heavy, but intuition, inner authority, it feels like, yes, there's no way this is not going to work out, because the only way it wouldn't work out is if you quit, right? And so think about that in every area of your life. Apply this like literally in your relationships, in your workouts at the gym. I used this doing split squats the other day. I was like, I don't know if I can do anymore. And you know, I'm like, what would I do? What would I choose to do if I thought I could do 5 more split squats? And guess what? I did 5 more split squats and I was screaming at the end. So change your state, ask yourself better questions, specifically that question, to start to tap into that. And if you feel like it's still really hard to tap into your inner authority, you're like, I have no idea, like I'm not picking up on anything, I got no spidey senses happening, it's probably because you are just deeply running on somebody else's programming. And that brings you back to like unlearning what isn't yours. What areas of your life are draining you? I talk about this all the time. What actually lights you up? You could dive into my 7-day reset. That's a really great way to get yourself back into you, not the external circumstances around you, not how people tell you to behave, not the expectation that other people have of you, not the freaking guilt that you get when you choose yourself. It's a really beautiful 7-day challenge that will bring you back to that place. And at the end of 7 days, I guarantee you will be able to tap into your inner authority like that. Because every single person that has gone through that has been like, holy, like that was the reset I needed my entire life. I have it. It's $7, $1 a day, and it can completely change your life. Yeah, I'll leave the resources below in the comments, but like, what a beautiful gift it is to be able to tap into that on a regular basis. And this is such a small example of it. Like I'm just like out hiking my dog, but once you start living your life from that place, it's like you just trust that everything's gonna work out, and then it does. It just does. It's magic. Okay. As always, I have an unwavering belief in your potential, and I wish you nothing but success.